Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from Phone Bunch, and today we are comparing the Micromax Unite 2 with the Motorola Moto E. In terms of specifications, the Unite 2 has the advantage with its quad-core processor clocked at 1.3 GHz, Mali 400 MP2 GPU and 1 GB of RAM, while the Moto E makes do with 1.2 GHz dual-core Snapdragon 200 processor with Adreno 302 GPU and again with 1 GB RAM. Both the phones run Android 4.4.2 KitKat right out of the box. And the Moto E is expected to get the update to Android KitKat 4.4.3 very soon. You can also see the benchmark scores. The Unite 2 has a clear advantage over the Moto E with its quad-core processor. Coming to the build of the device, you can see on the right, both have the volume rockers as well as a power lock and unlock button. But the buttons on the Moto E are a bit difficult to press, and while on the Unite 2 they are a bit mushy, soft, don't offer that good feedback. You can see the difference in design. The Moto is definitely easier to hold. It fits in your palm. At the top you can see on the Unite 2 you have the 3.5 audio jack, micro USB data syncing charging port. On the Moto E you have the secondary noise cancellation microphone as well as the 3.5 audio jack. Moving to the left of both devices, you can see there's absolutely nothing. The Moto E has a tapered sort of rounded design. At the bottom you can see you have your primary microphone on the Unite 2 while the micro USB data syncing charging port on the Moto E. Moving to the back, you can see that both have sort of a matte finish. It's more rubberized on the Moto E. Both have 5 megapixels camera, but the Unite 2 has a far better camera than the Moto E. Now this is a replacement Moto E that we got, and this does not have that back cover issue. Coming to the insides, you have a full-size SIM card slot and a micro SIM card slot right there. While on the Moto E, both are on the sides, both are micro SIM card slots. Micro SD card slots on both except 32 gigs of storage. 2000 mAh battery on the Unite 2, removable. On the Moto E, it's a 1980 mAh, but it's non-removable. Both provide excellent battery life, and you can easily get more than 1.5 days of usage with average use. Coming to the front, you have capacitive buttons on the Unite 2, main speaker and on-screen buttons on the Moto E. You have 4.7-inch IPS WVGA display on the Unite 2, a QHD 4.3-inch display on the Moto E, which is definitely denser and more sharper. Now let me show you that both phones actually have notification LEDs as well. So right up top you can see the notification LED on the Moto E glows white, while on the Unite 2 it's next to the earpiece and it glows either green or red. The Unite 2 also has a 2 megapixel front facing camera, which is not available on the Moto E. Talking about the displays of both of these phones, the display on the Unite 2 is definitely brighter, but while on the Moto E, it's denser, sharper and more color rich with better contrast levels. And plus on the Moto E, you also get Corning Gorilla Glass 3 and a bit better touch response. Now we are playing music on the Moto E. Have a listen. And now on the Unite 2. The speakerphone on the Moto E is far louder. Now we are playing a 720p video. Both play videos quite well. You can see the Moto E's display has higher contrast levels. Now this is the gaming comparison of the Moto E and the Micromax Unite 2. Colors look much better on the Moto E. Graphics look sharper on the Moto E, but app data is not movable there, but it is on the Unite 2. So the Unite 2 definitely has an advantage. Now let's launch the camera. So you can see it launches at almost the same time. Coming to the interface, you have your settings right there on the Moto E. You can see that too. It's in a dial shape, a very easy to use, simple interface. Now you have much more settings available on the Unite 2. Plus it can record 1080p videos, which is again a huge advantage over the Moto E, which can record only FWVGA resolution videos, and that too is almost always out of focus. So the lack of autofocus, a flash as well as a secondary camera is a huge letdown on the Moto E. Now let's talk about software. So let's get into notification toggles. You see, not major differences. There are some extra options like user profiles and rotation available on the Unite 2. Getting into settings, it's a pretty familiar interface. So not many changes here, just some of the icons have been replaced. Now getting into Wi-Fi, you can see that both of these phones support Wi-Fi Direct as well. And for those people who have been asking us whether the Unite 2 supports WPA networks, it does. And it works quite fine. At present, we are actually connected on a WPA network. Wi-Fi hotspot, USB tethering and Bluetooth tethering are also supported on both of these phones. No loss of connectivity, both are dual SIM phones and support 3G networks as well. All the settings you can see are pretty similar. You have cloud printing support available. Getting into about, you can see both phones are running Android 4.4.2 KitKat right out of the box. And the Moto E is going to get the new update to Android 4.4.3 very soon. Now let's see how Chrome works on both of these phones. So they launch at pretty much the same time, but the download speeds are better on the Unite 2. Scrolling speeds are almost same on both of these devices, and so is the rendering. It takes a bit of time for text and images to render on the Moto E, but then again Unite 2 has a quad-core processor. Pinch to zoom is smooth on both of these devices, and text looks sharper on the Moto E. Now coming to the default keyboards, you have the very smart pad on the Unite 2 with 21 languages support, but it always opens up in capital letters. And you have the new AOSP keyboard with swipe functionality on the Moto E, which is far better, far easier and very fast to type on. Now even if we come to the general UI performance, you can see that both phones perform quite well. The UI is definitely smoother on the Moto E. There's no question about that. Motorola has done a brilliant job of optimizing Android KitKat on the Moto E. The build of both devices is actually quite solid. The Moto E, the replacement at least that we have got, is very much solid. There is no issue with the back cover here. It feels really good to hold, much better than the sort of flat style of the Unite 2's back. But there are additional features on the Moto E like Gorilla Glass 3, water resistant coating, a 5-point multi-touch display versus 2-point on the Micromax Unite 2. But it does not have a good camera. So if you are looking for a smartphone that has good camera with gaming capabilities, the Unite 2 wins there. We'll be back with more. Don't forget to visit phonebunch.com for the latest in mobile technology. You can watch our review of the Moto E and the Unite 2 from right here, as well as the gaming review of the Moto E. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Any questions, just ask us in the comment section. Thanks for watching and have a great day.